Hello everybody, what is up, and welcome to the one and only episode 4 of the official PlayStation podcast of PlaystationFollower, the PS ProCast. My name is Christian Buckley, and I'm joined by my fellow PSF member, Omar Nakvi.
Hello.
If you don't know, the PS ProCast is where myself, Omar, and maybe some PSN friends now and then get together and talk PlayStation and the gaming industry every week. It's broken up into 4 segments that get released Monday through Thursday, then the show in its entirety gets posted on Friday on our YouTube channel or as an MP3 on SoundCloud, linked down below. Just recently, we created an email for Q&As of any topic, so you can contact us there at psfollowers@gmail.com. That is also linked down below. So, that basically finishes the housekeeping stuff. How you doing, Omar?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
I'm good, back at college. Spring break is over. Back to
Nice.
work. So, yeah.
Break flew by.
Definitely. I basically just did most of my break as Ghost Recon stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I got to do co-op in that, so
Yeah.
that sort of rounded off my experience with the game, and I'm trying to get the review done as soon as possible because I already put, probably 6 hours into the main story of that game and then caught up with co-op for the rest of it.
Is it long? It probably is pretty long, right? I don't know.
It can be, because if you want to go... The thing is, to get to El Sueño, the main guy, you have to completely wipe out 2 out of 4 of his production stuff, so it's broken up into influence, security, smuggling, and one other. So you only have to wipe out 2 sections of them to get access to him.
Okay.
So, and if you probably put maybe 4 hours or 5 hours into the game, you can probably get through a whole section of a boss thing, because they have mini bosses that have their own boss and then the head of whatever that subsection of the production is, and then if you wipe out 2 of them, then you get El Sueño. So
You gotta get El Sueño.
yeah, definitely gotta stop cocaine.
Yeah. You see this thing about, I think Bolivia was pretty mad about the interpretation
they
that
were
they're
like-
getting.
Yeah, they were like, oh, we're very offended that you're making our country that has drugs in it seem like it's terrible and has drugs in it. I don't know what it was. I looked into it briefly, but
I don't know what the situation is, but...
it's fiction.
Right, it is fiction, you're right.
And it wasn't,
So-
racist or anything. At least I didn't think it was racist.
Yeah.
They didn't make it seem like it, because there were plenty of, civilians and, allies in the game that were, straight up good people. The writing's terrible, but, they're good people.
Yeah.
They're trying to do the right thing.
Do you like the people you're playing as? Because I hear some people be like, wow, these people are, terrible.
I don't know, man. So, the writing is really bad.
Yeah, I need to... Honestly, the thing I most want to check out about the game is the writing more than anything.
It's real.
Some of those quotes, I've said it again, but the whole, Baby Makes 3 thing sounds so cool and insane to me.
The guy who voices the main character, his voice is so perfect for this game.
Yeah.
He has, the sort of the monotone, slightly raspy thing going on.
The Adam Jensen kind of thing.
Kinda, he's like, alright, 2 tangos down, that whole thing. And it's so perfect, especially when you're, interrogating people or he's doing cutscenes. But, yeah, some of the facial animations, some of the character models, they don't look great. But the game is really pretty, overall.
Yeah, I thought it looked nice.
Yeah,
I was kind of surprised that people were I remember when the beta was running and people were like, this game looks bad. I'm like, what? It looks good.
Most of the environment's dirt, so,
Right, yeah.
You kinda
But there
make
is
it
some
look
nice
that good.
foliage in there, though.
There
I
is,
think.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Draw distance is good, too. You can see, pretty far out of the map. It's a huge
Yeah.
map, too.
Run well and everything.
Yeah, I only ran into a few frame rate issues, but that's basically it.
Cool.
Our friend Brandon platinumed it.
Yeah, what the hell, Brandon?
It's I think right now the percentage is 0.1% of players have the platinum.
That's nuts.
I probably will platinum this at some point over the summer, because I think I'm 30% done with the trophies, and most of it's just collecting it. So I did the story missions, but I can go back and break through the rest of the operation subsections, and then I'll basically just get the platinum from that way. So it doesn't seem that hard.
Are there difficulty trophies in that?
No.
Nice.
It's just
Horizon
collection.
doesn't have any of those either, which is
Oh,
nice.
that's good.
Because I
Yeah.
dropped the difficulty to easy.
Mhm.
I'm going to mention. But, yeah.
Yeah. So, what about you? You've been checking out Mass Effect, right?
I have been checking out Mass Effect this week. There's a new Mass Effect game out next week. I mean, but I checked out that trial, right?
Yeah. How was
There's
that? Is that how was that like established? Was it like the first 2 hours, or did it stop you after a certain point, or like what was it?
so yeah, it lets me play 10 hours of that trial, but that trial stops me after about like the first time you land on a real planet.
Okay.
Yeah, so like that I got to that point about like 4 to 5 hours in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was kind of bummed about that because I dropped $5 on it. It
Wait.
was
So,
kind of more of a glorified demo than
yeah,
a good 10 hours.
yeah. Could you like go back and like look through more things and just go
Yeah,
in
I
more
can.
depth?
I can still play it. Like I think I can. Like when the game comes out on Tuesday, I'll probably go check out the multiplayer in it because then the people will be playing a lot of it. I'm sure.
Yeah, I've been hearing wicked positive things about the multiplayer as far as anything else goes for that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like this is kind of crazy now that this is going to be like a controversial opinion, but I am enjoying that game quite a bit.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I'm enjoying the new Mass Effect game.
Yeah, and you historically don't like Mass Effect.
Well, it's not like I don't like Mass Effect, but more like I was kind of. I've had problems with it in the past
Okay, that's fair.
where I've always felt like those games get like perfect scores usually,
Hmm.
and I see the appeal, but I've never really been as into it as everyone else. Like those games are like space operas, right? And
Basically, yeah.
I've never really been into that kind of like soap opera kind of thing with the characters.
Okay, that's
But
fair.
this seems like just as pretty much on par with those games, other than those facial animations you've seen.
Yeah.
Like the writing seems just about the same to me. I don't know. I have been enjoying it quite a bit because the combat is like really good. I think it feels really good to play that game,
Yeah, well,
and I bet that's why the multiplayer is so good probably too. Is
yeah.
because that combat is just like really fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the multiplayer for Mass Effect 3. I thought that was really well done.
Yeah.
This seems like a natural evolution of it. Tucker on Mass Effect Follower got to go over to BioWare in Edmonton and do some like exclusive gameplay stuff.
Yeah.
So we've talked to him about it. That's pretty cool hearing what he has to say. I've been trying to be media blackout on this game because I cannot wait. I love Mass Effect, and this hopefully will continue and improve on what I already like. I didn't hate 3. I thought it lost itself for a little bit. I didn't hate the ending, but
Yeah.
Andromeda looks to be very good from just everything I've seen, which again isn't a lot. Yeah, I'm really just looking forward to getting into this world, especially because from what I have seen, it looks way more of like a Star Trek vibe because like exploration is key to the story in this one.
Yeah. It's very much. I like the not to ruin your blackout or anything, but like the first mission, you're very much like, okay, we want to make sure that we're good with these people here because there are regulations about when we should pull out guns and whatever to establish peace or and stuff like that.
Yeah, see, that's awesome.
Feels very Star Trek vibes. So the first few games had that stuff too, though, right?
Kind of, but it was more limited to like, I don't really know how to describe it, but like there were 2 races. I think it was the people are gonna like kill me if I get this wrong. The Krogans and the Solarians
Right.
did not get along because of the genophage, I believe, or it's some disease. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna cut this out. But
Okay.
yeah. But you could have relations with both of them, and it didn't affect anything. Like you're standing with either of them. So if it's stuff like diplomatic stuff, more focus on the politics of things and relations and character relationships, stuff like that, I'm all in on that. Even one of the trailers I saw, I think, I might be wrong, but I think the villain was broadcasting to the bridge of the whatever the ship is called in this one, and it looked straight out of like a Star Trek movie.
That sounds precisely like a Star Trek thing. Yeah.
Right? Like,
Or Galaxy Quest. Well, that's a Star Trek thing too, but you know.
yeah. No, like, yeah, like, you know how you just have, like, Kirk sitting in the captain's chair and then the entire front windshield is just the villain's face?
Yep.
It was something that looked a lot like that, and I was sold immediately.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, so
I might buy the game now to see that, honestly.
Yeah, I really can't wait for Mass Effect. I hope it's good. I hope it's great.
Yeah, the one thing other than like, the facial animation stuff that I haven't been really sold on so far is the story setup. It hasn't been as interesting as I'd like it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen like it's the Pathfinder thing, right?
Yes.
Are you aware of like the term of you're a Pathfinder now? You got to go to a planet,
Yes.
and I guess make sure it's okay to live on, stuff like that.
Right, because the twins aren't soldiers. Their dad was an N7 soldier,
Yeah,
right?
all the family stuff and like the reasons why you become a Pathfinder very fast in the game. I'm not going to spoil the reason, but just saying like why. It doesn't really sell you on how important that is or like why it's that cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. In the first few games, being Shepard, people thought you were really cool.
Mm-hmm.
In this game, it feels like the same kind of thing, except you're a Pathfinder and it feels less cooler than Shepard was.
Okay.
I don't know. Like it just seems like oh wow, you're this guy finding planets for us, but like everyone else on the ship is also doing the same mission as me. So I don't know why they care so much about me specifically.
Okay.
Especially because like the way you get that position isn't exactly like an honorary thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I hope it gets better in that department. But so far I haven't been too sold on it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea that so you know how you make either a female or a male shepherd or rider in this game?
Yeah.
The other gender is in the game too apparently.
Yeah, I heard that. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Do you know if they can be on your team?
No idea yet because they're in cryosleep as far as I've seen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
That's about only 3 hours into the game, honestly.
Yeah, that's really cool. I hope the story. I mean, even with some of the earlier Mass Effect games, aside from maybe 2,
Yeah,
it is a bit slow to start. Like 2,
totally.
Shepard dies like 5 minutes in.
Right.
So like, and then you wake up, you have a gun, you have to like escape someplace.
Yeah. Oh, I
So-
should mention too the UI in this game is kind of crazy to look at. Have you heard anything about this? Like the menus?
Like crazy in a good way.
No, like bad.
Oh.
Like it's like it's a huge mess where it's like you're trying to spec out your character right. You put your skill points and stuff and all that, but the menu is just so messy. There's like 100 categories of stuff to look at and flick through, and it's kind of ugly.
Well, they got rid of the class system, right?
I think so.
They changed it very much so it's not really a class system anymore.
It's not really a class. You kind of just put your points into some abilities.
Oh,
I think.
Tucker was explaining it to me. It's from what his explanation sounded like. It sounded very much like The Witcher. You know how you could put certain resources towards aspects of your being, so you could put it into sword fighting or magic, and you could take them away and like place your skill points in other places.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the way it's set up, and I'm not completely sure about how it all works completely, but all I know is my favorite class in Mass Effect is a Vanguard, and I just hope I can be a Vanguard again, and just like if there's a way to get it the way I want it to be, because I know, I think I read somewhere a while back that when they did change the class system and they announced it, that Vanguard is in there, you have to just, it's either going by a different name or you have to sculpt it out yourself. So, I mean, it's not going to be hard for me to find out that because I can probably just look it up online. But,
What's the difference of being like a Vanguard in that game?
Vanguard, at least in the trilogy, was like, you were like close quarters combat, so you could, basically, like, you could sort of not teleport but like zoom as like an energy beam into someone and then like melee them and hit them with a shotgun.
Yeah.
So it's like it was really cool.
That sounds awesome, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my favorite class. I tried like 2 or 3 profiles starting out when I first played Mass Effect, and I tried out a couple of the classes, and the last one I tried was Vanguard, and I was like, oh, this is so much better than everything else.
Yeah. Maybe I should try getting back into that game and play with a Vanguard, like the first Mass Effect, and maybe
I don't know if
I'll get it.
I don't know if the Vanguard was in 1. I can't remember. It might have been in 2.
Mm-hmm.
There might have been something like it in 1, but I remember Vanguard being something exclusive to 2. I'm not quite sure on that, but if you want to try out Vanguard from like what I'm describing it as, go for 2.
Okay. I should also mention that the dialogue wheel is different now, right?
Oh yeah.
It's a instead of the Paragon and Rebel or whatever it was.
Paragon and Renegade.
Renegade, yeah. It's like it gives you like 9 symbols to look at instead,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like You could be casual. You could be professional in your answers. You could be kind of heartfelt, or there's a Bioware heart, I think, to start your romance sometimes. You can do pretty early on if you want to do that. And then there's a I don't know. There's quite a few options there and a bunch of symbols too. It looks kind of messy, honestly, but it does the Fallout 4 thing where it like gives you a few words as like your answer, and then you click it, and then it's a completely different sentence you say out loud. Yeah, it's. It wasn't the first few games like that too, though, in Mass Effect, or am I crazy?
No,
okay, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's just like that, but there's like a few more options.
Are you playing as Sarah or Scott?
I'm playing as Sarah.
All right.
I think she's good so far in terms of voice acting and everything.
Yeah,
like, so far I've been satisfied with all the voice acting and dialogue stuff.
Okay, Clancy Brown plays the dad, right?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure he does. I'm not sure. I think I read that somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. The dad has an interesting voice act. Well, he sounds pretty stilted, I guess, compared to everything else.
Okay.
But I think like the Silicon Valley guy is there playing.
Oh yeah.
Who is it? Yeah, some
He's a Solarian.
What's the race of Garrus? Who's Garrus?
Oh, I thought he was a Solarian.
No, Garrus is. I thought the Solarian. Oh, Turian.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Garrus
Wait, no,
is
you're
a Turian,
right.
but
Silicon Valley guy is a Solarian. You're right.
Okay,
you're
yeah.
Right. Yeah, that guy.
Natalie Dormer's in it too. She's playing an Asari.
Yeah, she is. I haven't seen her since like the intro, but I think she's in there a lot more apparently.
Yeah.
There's that other Asari, PB. Which
Yeah.
I think everyone likes to meme on and stuff, but so far she's all right. I don't mind her at all. These characters, like, so far, I don't know if people in their negativity about this game are just comparing like these characters to the relationships they made with the first 3 games.
I mean, that was always gonna happen.
Yeah, I know, but like it feels like people are just like, oh, I don't like any of these characters yet, but also you spent 3 games with the first few, so it's like maybe you're just not giving them a chance yet. I'm not sure.
Yeah, like people ended up hating Ashley.
Right.
Who was a character in the.
Yeah, who'd you pick, Kaiden or Ashley?
When I played the, because I had PS3, so I played Mass Effect 2 first, and in that they gave you a motion comic to pick the things from the first game.
Do you know actually if like now that Mass Effect 1 came out to PS3, you can import the Mass Effect 1 save?
I'd assume so if you have the trilogy.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
Because I ended up just playing through some of Mass Effect 1 on my brother's 360, because I didn't. I revisited 1 a while after I played through 2 and 3.
Right, I remember when 2 came out, that game felt like a really like big thing.
Oh, that was huge.
Yeah, I tried jumping into Mass Effect 1 when that game came out, when 2 came out, and I was like, I don't really want to play 1 anymore, I want to play 2.
Yeah.
So then I started playing 2, but then I felt like I wasn't getting the full experience because I didn't play 1. Then I went back to 1, and then I never went back to 2, and yeah, my Mass Effect playthrough is all ruined.
Yeah, well, to answer what your question was, in the
yeah,
when I played 2, I picked Ashley.
Yeah.
And then after, when I went back, I picked Kaiden, right, was his name?
Yep.
And then I just, like, tried to see what happened there as the experience. But, because, yeah, Ashley turned out to be terrible by the end of 3. I did not like that choice anymore.
Yeah, I don't, I feel like some of the writing, like, people like to riff on the 3 ending, but some of the writing in 3 also went a bit downhill from 2, I think.
Oh, yeah,
like, just in general, like, the dialogue stuff.
2 hit a peak that you couldn't reach, and I feel like even Andromeda's not going to be able to reach it, because 2, the entire setup was just building your team and doing the suicide mission.
Right. No, 2 had the amazing setup.
Yeah, that structure was incredible.
Like, the story isn't, like, amazing in 2, but the whole, like, idea of, like, building up your crew is super cool.
See, that's why I was so happy when I found out that they were doing, like, the loyalty missions again, because I was nervous. I had a feeling they were going to do it, but I was like, please just keep, like, Essence the same. Let me find someone on my ship, talk to them, be like, hey, can I help you with anything? And they're like, oh, actually, yeah. We need to go to my home planet and kill people that are about to kill my dad or something like that. Like,
yeah.
Like, I loved how that was. Especially, who was it? Tally had a really good loyalty mission, too.
What race was she? I forget. But
I'm blanking on the name.
Her whole species didn't have the helmet thing on, right?
No, they did.
They did?
Yes.
I can't remember.
I remember she got, like, excommunicated or something.
Yeah, I remember seeing the picture of her in the frame or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't seen any of her kind so far in this game. The new enemies, you know the cat.
Yeah.
Not sold on them so far,
Oh, really?
like at all. But they haven't really said a word to me yet.
Oh, okay.
But I've just killed a lot of them, I think.
Well,
So yeah, I don't know. I hope it gets better. But so far, I think it's decently promising though. I think fans of Mass Effect would like it a lot.
yeah, I'm
I
hoping.
don't get the hate it's getting on the internet, but that's the internet for you.
Yep, I will be getting it. This goes up Monday, so I'll be getting it tomorrow.
Yeah, cool.
Cannot wait.